This evening, 2 laborers arrested and charged with murder at Parika. Ministry of Health focuses on preventing vector-borne diseases with dengue cases declining. Empowering women in male-dominated fields. BIT encourages hard skills training for 100,000 females. In the region, El Salvador Bitcoin experiment hits 2-year milestone. And internationally, Guinea economy. Businesses struggling 2 years after COUP. Welcome to this broadcast of Channel 2's Headline News Update for September 8, 2023. I am Baby Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. First up, with dengue cases on the decline, Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony has assured that measures are being undertaken to prevent the infection of other vector-borne diseases such as malaria. Dr. Frank Anthony disclosed this while speaking with media operatives on the sidelines of an event held at the Pegasus Hotel in Georgetown on Wednesday. According to the Centers for the Disease Control and Prevention, malaria is a severe infection and sometimes fatal disease caused by a parasite that commonly infects a particular type of mosquito that feeds on humans. People infected with this disease are typically sick with high fevers, shaking chills, and flu-like illnesses.
Generally, where we see malaria cases is more in regions 1, 7, 8, and 9. And we haven't noted any kind of drastic increase because we have been distributing bed nets and things like that to those communities.
In addition to distributing bed nets, a continuous training program is being rolled out to tackle malaria in remote mining communities in Guyana. Miners, the minister explained, are identified to receive training to conduct malaria rapid tests so that they can be able to detect cases in a mining camp.
Also give them medication and train them how to dispense the medication. So if you diagnose, let's say, Vivax malaria, then there are these types of medication. On the envelope itself, it has how you should use the meds, morning, afternoon, and so forth. So all of that is on the package, and we give that out. So we haven't really seen an increase in malaria cases, but we have a number of programs that we're working on in those communities.
Meanwhile, with the constant fogging exercises conducted by the ministry's vector control services, there has been a substantial decline in the mosquito population, corresponding with a decrease in dengue cases locally. Let's switch gears now and talk about the Board of Industrial Training, which is making significant strides in empowering women to pursue and excel in male-dominated fields. The government, under the leadership of Minister of Labor Joseph Hamilton, is actively encouraging women to participate in hard skills programs, including heavy-duty equipment operation, welding, and fabrication. Minister Hamilton highlighted success stories of women who initially had reservations but are now proficient in operating heavy equipment. The government aims to train 100,000 females to meet the increase in labor demands and contribute to the economy. Over the past 3 years, BIT has trained around 10,000 individuals, with 46% being women, a substantial increase from 2020. To further expand the Board of Industrial Training reach, the government is establishing new training facilities in various regions nationwide, ensuring more women have access to these valuable training opportunities. On a different note, 2 laborers were charged with the murder of Ravi Ramratan when they appeared at the Lenora Magistrates Court on Thursday, September 7th. 20-year-old laborer Kemraj Prasad of Parika Fasad, East Bank Essequibo, and 24-year-old laborer Ganguly Ramratan of Anna Katerina, West Coast Demerara, appeared before Magistrate Zamali Ali Sir Prasad, where the charge was read to them. They were not required to plea and were remanded to prison. The court heard that Ramratan's body was found on September 2nd, 2023 in the vicinity of Lotus Mall at Parika, East Bank Essequibo. The body was lying on its back and clothed in long black pants, a black jersey, and a reddish bath towel wrapped around it. When examined, the body was seen with chopped wounds. A bed sheet with what appeared to be blood was found next to the body. Prasad and Ramratan were subsequently arrested 2 days later and jointly charged for the offense of murder. Government pathologist Dr. Nihal Singh performed a post-mortem examination with dissection on the body of the 47-year-old man and gave the cause of death as multiple incised wounds. The duo will return to court on October 19, 2023 for further proceedings. Stick around when we return. Guyana Police Force achieves institutional accreditation, pledges to uphold the highest standards of professionalism. And police in Regina cracks down on tint violations and traffic offences in recent enforcement exercise.
Oh gosh, what's this? Me son can't read or spell. Stop! 0 out of 20. Is what I gonna do here?
Let's start improving your child grades today. Register for our primary or nursery department. Hidden Treasures, we're located at 204 E COUP Charlotte Street between Camp and Alexander. Or contact us at 649-0373.
I can call them now.
Hidden Treasures, discovering gems in young minds.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brickdam and White Castle Fish Shop. Be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
All we will be making Chinese noodles with peppies, chow mein, chicken fritters, and spice cake. For the noodles, all of these will be using peppies, black pepper, cashew,
Chinese sauce, soy sauce, garlic sauce, paprika, Chinese seasoning, chow mein seasoning, fried spice, and our purpose seasoning.
Next, this chicken that we marinated, soak for all you don't know nothing with peppies, green seasoning, miracle seasoning,
pepper sauce, chicken seasoning, paprika, garlic powder, dark seasoning, black pepper, onion powder, and ginger powder, and document plantain flour, and then this butter we make with this quick piece powder, and we
boil in high. We serve with peppies, barbecue sauce. Radhika went to the supermarket and she proper buy up enough things. She feels she alone can cook, but she routine even wrong. She shaped like a guy in a map.
Peppies has a wide range of ingredients available at supermarkets nationwide. Peppies, we put the pep back into your kitchen.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again. Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Welcome back. The Guyana Police Force has achieved what they describe as a milestone by becoming the first public agency in Guyana to receive accreditation from the National Accreditation Council. This recognition was officially presented at the handing over ceremony held at the Officers Training Center. The Guyana Police Forces Academy received the institutional accreditation certificate on August 25, 2023. This accomplishment signifies that the Academy now meets the highest standard of law enforcement education, fostering excellence and ensuring continuous improvement. Deputy Commissioner's Administration, Calvin Brutus, and the Guyana Police Force Administration played pivotal roles in this achievement. The journey towards accreditation involved various initiatives, including rigorous documentation, upgrading entrance examinations, implementing a grading scheme, and renaming the institution to the Guyana Police Force Academy, enhancing infrastructure, and forging strategic partnership. Deputy Commissioner Calvin Brutus emphasized that the Ghana Police Force's commitment to excellence remains unwavering, and the aim is to evolve into a renowned international law enforcement learning institution. He said the achievement is a testament to the dedication, hard work, and unwavering commitment of the Ghana Police Force and its members, instructors, recruits, partners, and stakeholders. The Deputy Commissioner concluded by pledging to uphold the highest standard of professionalism, ethics, and competence in law enforcement, making the nation safer and more secure for all citizens. In other news, as the Ghana Police Force continues its efforts to rid the roadways of errant drivers, they took their campaign to Anna Regina Region 2. During a recent traffic enforcement exercise, the police found 15 vehicles with tint that did not comply with the Motor Vehicle and Road Traffic Act. The drivers were instructed to remove the tint and they complied. Additionally, the exercise resulted in 28 other traffic-related cases, including issues such as uninsured motor vehicles, failure to produce driver's license, driving uncertified vehicles, overloading vehicles, conductor overload, failure to wear seatbelts, unlicensed motor vehicles causing obstruction, and unlicensed conductors. Don't go away after the break. Hollywood shuts down. Workers in film and TV continue strike over wages. And Guinea economy. Businesses struggling 2 years after coup.
Problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again. Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Hello, my fellow TikToker followers. It's Credit, and today all we will be making Chinese noodles with peppies, chow mein, chicken fritters, and poise cake. For the noodles, all these will be using peppies, black pepper, cashew,
Chinese sauce, soy sauce, garlic sauce, paprika, Chinese seasoning, chow mein seasoning, white spice, and all-purpose seasoning.
Next, this chicken that we marinated, soak for all you wanna know nothing with peppies, green seasoning, miracle seasoning,
Pepper sauce, chicken seasoning, paprika, garlic powder, dark seasoning, black pepper, onion powder, and ginger powder, and document plantain flour, and then this butter we make with this quick piece powder, and we
boil in high. We serve with peppies barbecue sauce. Radhika went to the supermarket and she papa buy up enough things. She feels she alone can cook, but she routine even wrong. She shaped like a Guyana map.
Peppies has a wide range of ingredients available at supermarkets nationwide. Peppies, we put the pep back into your kitchen.
Smart Minds Educational Institute, offering preschool, nursery, and primary levels. Finally, a school that is every parent's dream. Located at 69 Crow Street, offering academic excellence, trained qualified teachers, small class sizes, personalized care, and one-to-one attention for your little ones. At Smart Minds, register for full-time or evening classes, daily practice pass exam papers for proficiency at the grade 2, 4, and 6 assessment, and CXE exam preparedness. Or join our Becca Phonics reading and writing program. So if your child is for preschool, nursery, or primary level, come to Smart Mind, located at 69 Street, or call 231-4885 or 600-9229 to enroll now.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brick Dam and White Castle Fish Shop. Be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Welcome back. Now let's take a look at what's happening in the region and around the world. In September 2021, the small Central American country of El Salvador was the first to make the cryptocurrency Bitcoin legal tender. It has had mixed results. Tourism is up, but it seems not many people actually use it. Al Jazeera's John Holman looks at the experiment on its second anniversary.
It's now 2 years since El Salvador became the first country in the world to introduce Bitcoin as legal tender, along with its regular currency, the dollar. So has the experiment succeeded? The general verdict? Not yet, at least. One of the big selling points of the plan was that Salvadorans would be able to receive remittances from relatives in the US through Bitcoin using a digital Chiva wallet. But according to stats from El Salvador's central bank, most have chosen not to. Less than 2% of remittances went through cryptocurrency and digital wallets so far this year. Then there's Bitcoin City, a planned paradise for Bitcoin enthusiasts powered by geothermal energy with low taxes and crypto mining facilities. It was presented by the president at a bombastic event in November 2021.
Because this is a fully ecological city that works and it's energized by a volcano.
But so far, critics say, that building has yet to begun.
This first bond is...
At the same ceremony, the strategist behind El Salvador's cryptocurrency adoption announced the forthcoming creation of Bitcoin bonds.
The first one is going to be a $1 billion bond. And what makes it a Bitcoin bond is because it's backed by Bitcoin. So half of the $1 billion will go into buying Bitcoin. The other half will go towards infrastructure, specifically building energy infrastructure and Bitcoin mining.
But the so-called volcano bonds have also yet to materialise. Meanwhile, President Bukele has been using government funds himself to buy bitcoins for the nation, announcing on Twitter when and how much he's purchased. Economists have been using those tweets to work out how those trades have gone.
At the price of Bitcoin right now, we're looking at a theoretical loss of $45.4 million of public funds in these operations. And those are just estimates based on the president's tweets, because there is no information publicly available about how much he's traded.
But while information might be hard to come by in El Salvador's Bitcoin experiment, one thing is for sure, its president isn't giving up yet. John Holman, Al Jazeera.
Tens of thousands of film and television writers and actors in the US have been on strike for months, shutting down all the union productions. Analysts estimate the strikes have cost the economy at least $3 billion so far. Al Jazeera's Rob Reynolds reports from Los Angeles.
Kiki Stash has a clothing warehouse full of vintage items, a little known but vital part of the entertainment industry.
How much stuff have you got in here?
I've got about 25,000 pieces of clothing, and then plus all the shoes, belts. I have everything, jewelry, underwear. So I am a vintage vendor to costumers for TV and film.
She's not in a union, but the strikes have hit her hard.
If there's no writers and no actors and no new shows, there's just no business. I moved in here in February, and so most of my savings kind of went with the move, and I had to refurbish the place and do all that. So I'm pretty much, for the business part, I'm living on fumes right now.
Roman Molino Dunn has composed scores for many TV and film productions.
I write music for films and television. So I get a movie and they ask me to write a certain type of music, and that's what I do.
His work has dried up.
There's no writers and there's no actors. So the only projects that are coming in are documentaries. I guess some animation, reality television, there's a lot of that, but reality television has already moved away from composers. For the most part, they're using stock music.
Like many other non-union entertainment artists, he's been forced to dip into his savings.
If there's no jobs coming in, you're relying on the money from the previous job, and the further that goes into the future, the more dismal that seems.
The longer it goes on, the closer artists like Stash and Dunn get to leaving their field altogether.
Luckily, it hasn't gotten to that yet, but it's very worrisome to see that this has been going on for so long. If it continues, everybody in the industry will probably have to do as you suggest and find a job completely outside of the industry.
Sleepless nights?
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Skills and talents going to waste as the biggest entertainment strike in decades drags on. Rob Reynolds, Al Jazeera, Los Angeles.
2 years after a military coup, Guinea is struggling to attract investors. The West African nation is heavily indebted to China. It's making life much tougher for businesses trying to operate in one of the poorest countries in the world. Al Jazeera's Bernard Smith reports.
Business is slow in Conakry's markets, from the smallest trader upwards.
You can stay here from morning until evening and not sell anything. Even the food we sell, we have to buy on credit, and if we don't pay it back, then they'll take you to the police. Life is very difficult.
The World Bank's latest report says that while income from mining will boost economic growth, the military's failure to hand over to a democratically elected government 2 years after the coup is deterring investors.
Well, the challenges are enormous, but we must recognize the clear improvement in security compared to the old regime. But you know, it's not stable because the regimes are not stable. It's not reassuring because you cannot establish a contract. Today, the contract is interrupted tomorrow by the arrival of a new regime. That doesn't reassure real investors.
In January, the government said it would start a 24-month transition to elections. But the opposition says there's still no roadmap to return to constitutional rule.
5 countries in this part of Africa are run by military juntas after a series of coups in the last 3 years. And that instability puts off investors. And it leaves administrations tempted to take out no-questions-asked loans, which often come with high interest rates and other onerous conditions.
Makanara Kakai is a professor of economics at a university in Conakry. He says he's really worried about how indebted Guinea is to China. The government won't even say on what terms it's borrowed money from Beijing.
There is minimal information. It's scary when you manage an economy with an opaque partner. In my culture, we say that all that we hide is bad. We don't know what the terms of business are and are transferring the current debt burden to future generations. That's why it's good to negotiate where we have a say on the terms. Then we can prepare.
More than 60% of Guineans live on less than $4 a day. And the World Bank says more people will slide into poverty this year because without a return to civilian rule, there'll be no reforms needed to strengthen governance and the rule of law. Bernard Smith, Al Jazeera, Conakry.
This brings us to the end of the regional and global news coverage. Up next is the 3-minute forecast. And that's Safe TV2 headline news for this Friday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to follow us on Facebook and YouTube. We'll be out for the weekend, but you can tune in on Monday at 7 p.m. for more news. Until then, please take care of yourself and each other and do have a wonderful weekend.